So the last step I wanted to talk about today was the 3 simple step fat loss system. So again, this isn't about diets or restricting yourself or making it complicated. It's just about trying to change your ideas, change your way of thinking so that you can achieve the best outcome possible. Um, so we're going to talk about tracking your food, tracking your movement, and then tracking your mood. Um, if you can get these three on track, you're going to have a better outcome than just focusing on one or like avoiding one. Or just if you can get these three things, they're very simple to do, and if you can get them on track, the mood one's going to be easy because of everything that we've already done today. So the idea is that you're not going on any shitty diet, so this is going to be different. One of the things that's come up over the years of doing weight loss and body transformations and getting fighters ready for fights, all that sort of stuff, is that people yo-yo. People have the tendency to really go at it 190 miles an hour, which they can't maintain. They end up fucking up. They end up feeling bad. They get more anxiety, more anxious, less confident, and just moving forward. They're not happy in what they're doing. So I don't want you to think of this like a diet. I'm not even going to talk about diets. There's no diets. There's no restricting yourself, and you're not doing it alone. Whenever you try to do anything completely on your own, it just makes it much harder to do. So even if you don't interact with anybody on this workshop ever again, just knowing that there's people in the world that are trying to do the same sort of thing as you and trying to get the same outcome as you means you're not doing it alone. So not doing it alone doesn't mean you have to be actually in the company of people. Just knowing that there's other people with the same goals in mind that are aiming for it makes it easier because you know you're not on your own doing it. So by the end of this workshop, you'll have a great understanding of why you've failed before and what works for you and what does not. So you no longer have to rely on what you've been told works. So everything that I talk about, I have used with clients, but some things that work for one will not work for the other, and vice versa. So understanding what works for you will make it easier for you moving forward to actually achieve the goal, whatever the goal may be for you. So most people think it's going to go like this. Once I make the decision, I'm going to make this decision. I hate where I am. I'm going to make the decision to make a better life, and that's just what's going to happen. And that's actually more accurate here, is that you make a decision, you start to make progress, you fuck it up, you make more progress, you fuck it up. As long as you keep going and you keep coming back to it, you will get there in the end. It's just not a straight line. It's usually up and down. This is where most people get caught up. They get caught up in the fuck it cycle. They make great progress, they have a slip and they drop down a wee bit, and then they're like, right, well, fuck this. And they go back. They just go back to, what's the point? I can never do this. I always feel this never works. I'm always going to be fat. I'm always going to be overweight. I'm never going to be healthy. Blah, 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 blah. So we just get in the fuck it cycle. Then eventually we'll try again. We're like, right, you know what? I'll give it another go. And the same thing happens. You have newbie gains or newbie losses depending on what you're going for, and then you drop down again. It doesn't keep going the same exact way. You have a slip back. It could be hormonal. It could be it was a wedding. It could be just you're sick. It could be fucking retaining water. It could be anything. But because you've dropped back down, and even like as you can see, like most time people don't even drop as far as they were. So you're not even going back to the beginning before you get the fuck it cycle. The fuck it cycle takes you back to the beginning, but you drop a bit. So maybe you've lost 5 pounds over the last like 2 months or something, just for easy math. And then you fuck about for a month and you gain 3 pounds. And then you just go, fuck it, I'm back to the start. But in actual fact, you're still 2 pounds down. You're just not doing as well as you were. So we end up caught in the fuck it cycle. And again, you can let me know in the comments. I assume there's a lot of people that have been here before or are afraid of going back there. And again, we're in the time of year where it's so easy to this time of year to get in the fuck it cycle. But if you just remember that it's fucking Christmas and it should be the Christmas cycle where you're like, look, I'm just going to enjoy my family time. I'm going to enjoy my meals. I'm going to, like, if you think about Christmas dinner, it's just a Sunday roast, but people make it so fucking complicated and like it's the most stressful like thing ever to be made in the world. But it's the same thing. So taking this week and just allowing yourself, like giving yourself permission. That's where your confidence comes in. That's where your self-worth and the anxiety can be taken away as well, because you allow yourself this week, you allow yourself to enjoy what you're doing. You know your limits, so that you know that you don't need to go completely mental if you don't want to, but you also know you have full control over that. Also, on a day that I eat a high calorie meal or snack, I think, "Ugh, I'm ruined." Yeah, so that happens a lot too. People, that's where the fuck it cycle comes in. You've had something that's high calorie and you just think, oh, well, that's me fucked. Because we get stuck in the moment, like we're in the calorie moment rather than the calorie week. So I've said to everyone in the group and anyone that's been on any of these sort of things with me, count your calories over the week and then have a bit of a plan. Or if you do take a day, if you haven't got a plan and you know today was a fucking write-off, then just tomorrow pull yourself back and the next day and just balance it out over time, instead of going, well, that's that ruin, that's the week ruin, fuck it, I'll start on Monday. Like, the starting on Monday thing is just mad. Or this week anyway, people will just, I'm going to start the new year. I've been talking to people over the last month and a half that are waiting to the new year. I'm going to join your group in the new year. I'm going to eat healthy in the new year. And I'm like, what? Like, it's still a month and a half away. Like, why not just start? Even if you just fucking half-assed it now and then full-assed it, that's not even the same. But if you know what I mean, like if you put half the effort in now, it's easier to put full effort in the future because you've already started. So you don't want to be stuck in the fuck it cycle. It's just a shit place to be. When you're in the fuck it cycle, you stay overweight, stay unhappy, stay frustrated, your confidence, self-love all drop, and you end up just with no idea. You think that worked for everyone else, but it's not working for me. I am special, unique butterfly, that these techniques and skills and ideas that work for everyone don't work for me because of any number of fucking mental reasons that we'll come up with. The real reason is you didn't stay consistent and you shot yourself down at the first hurdle. If you want to get to here where you are hitting your weight goals, you're happy, you're focused, you're confident, you're loving yourself, and you have the right strategy, it's consistently remembering your goal and prioritizing your goal. If you can remember your goal and prioritize it, then you can stick with a strategy. The reason that we yo-yo diet and the reason that we end up piling on more weight than we've ever lost is because we don't have a strategy that we have used consistently. So remember the wee toy that kids have that have like a square and a triangle and a star and a circle, and then you get the wee things and you put them in. Imagine if the kid just gave up because it couldn't put the fucking circle into the star. If you're a smart kid, you just learn that all of them fit inside the square, and then that's, you don't need to fuck about. But that's a completely different lesson. The idea is there that you're teaching the kid to deal with problem solving first. So the first way to solve the problem is stick them all in the square. It's the easiest way to do it. But that's not going to develop any other skills like understanding of shapes. It's not going to give a like patience, anything like that. So if you're not patient with yourself and you don't stick with a strategy that is working, that has worked for other people, then you're going to end up falling back. Also, whenever you stick to a strategy, you can come back to what I said at the start of this, the fat loss part. Not everything that works for somebody else will work for you, but you can learn that. And then instead of going, well, this whole thing doesn't work, you can go, that bit doesn't work for me. Going to the gym does not work for me because I fucking hate it. Going for a run does not work because I hate running. But what I do like is swimming, or I do like aqua aerobics, or I do like going for power walks or fucking jazzercise or whatever. Instead of writing the whole system off, you write off the bits that don't work for you because you've given them enough of a try. So that's what I mean by with the right strategy. The right strategy is a strategy for you. Maybe you need to move more because your job consists of you not moving. Maybe you don't need to do any exercise because you're very active in your work. Unless you want to be stronger, then you need to go and exercise. But if you want to be stronger and your friend who's doing the exact same thing as you wants to be a marathon runner, doing the same strategy workouts will not work for the both of you. It'll work for one, the other, or nobody, depending on how it's set out. Like if you want to build strength, but I give you an endurance session, that's not going to build your strength. It's going to build your endurance. If you want to build cardio, and I just do a sedentary session where we just sit about and eat donuts and talk. That's not going to build your cardio. But that might work for someone that needs to put weight on. It won't work for you. So just to understand it, I'm giving random examples, but the idea is that you understand the strategies. You're not marrying the strategy, you are dating them, and you'll make changes and date a different one if you need to. But like dating, if you just date one asshole and you just write the whole fucking thing off and you never do it ever again, it's probably not the best strategy for you to achieve a life of love or whatever it is that you want to get. So thinking about what you're doing and why you're doing it and the goals that you have, that will keep you on track to get them if you're willing to change things about. That's right, sitting about eating donuts work for people that need to put weight on. Like this is an example that I will use from clients from years ago when I did food phobias. And the person really needed to put weight on. So doing nothing and eat a load of donuts was the thing that eventually worked for them to get them started. And then we obviously went healthy. So for anyone that's following me a long time, or even if it's the first time you've chatted to me, you'll know that my goal is to help people to improve their life, however they want to do it, or whatever means we can get them to go with. So I've done all of the science stuff. I've learned as much about optimal health as I can, but most of the time optimal health doesn't work for the average person that just wants to be healthier. Like if I said to you, I need you to go on this strict diet and do this strict regime, and in 6 months you'll be fucking super duper awesome duper. It would sound really good and you'd be like, fuck, that's brilliant, but you would never get there because it's not within what you actually want to achieve. You just want to be healthier, and I'm trying to make you a fucking cyborg. That's just not going to work. So the strategy of sitting about and eating donuts will work for the person that is unhealthily underweight and refuses to eat anything, but we find out donuts are something they will eat and convince them to put a bit of weight on via donuts. So to show them that putting weight on is not scary. It does not make them do, I'm not going to get into it, but you know what I mean? So it is a strategy that has been used in the past. I'm not advising that for anyone here because we're talking about weight loss. So don't do that. Even though you could, if you keep on to your calories and just eat donuts, you will lose weight. Not a healthy way to do it, but it's possible to do it. Yeah, so don't do that. Or video it and let us know how you get on with it. So let's create some mini goals. So we did the confidence visualization. So we're going to do the visualization of the outcome that you want. So when you set a goal, the clearer you can make the goal. So like we go right back to the start, eating the lemon. The stimuli in the head of imagining the lemon created the stimuli of like more saliva and the feeling of eating a lemon. So if we make our goal, our outcome as fucking precise and as clear and to the point as we possibly can, we're more connected to it. Our mind and our body are more likely to move forward to try to achieve it. So whenever I work with fighters and we talked about how to win a fight, we talked about exactly right down to the move that they use, whether it was an overhand right, whether it was a rear naked choke, whatever move they wanted to use at whatever round in the whatever second in that round. Like that's how precise I wanted it to be so that they could really connect with it rather than just want to like away from goals. I don't want to be fat. I don't want to be overweight. I don't want this. I don't want that. Don't want. If you don't want it, you will move away from it to an extent where you can't see it anymore and you forget and you slowly drift back. And then you're like, oh, fuck, I remember I don't want to be here. And then you move away again. If you move it towards goal, I want to be, and I see it in my mind as fucking clear as it's real, like the fake lemon we had earlier. I will keep moving towards that. I'm still moving away from the things I don't want, but I'm not focused on them. I'm focused on where I'm going. And that is what I find is a massive mistake that people make in anxiety, confidence, weight loss, all of it. We have away from goals and we forget about our toward goal, which means we get further away from that and then we end up drifting back again because it's not invoking as much physical reaction anymore. So have your goals towards where do you want to be and make them as fucking clear as you possibly can. Write down the cost of your inaction. So what is the cost of not doing this? If I don't take action, if I don't move forward, if I don't try to be healthier, if I don't change the way I move, change the way I live. What is the cost of that? So writing that down is useful because when you have it in front of you and you're able to actually see it, you can see that and go, well, fuck. This is why I'm going to get up and go to the gym today when I couldn't be bothered, because if I don't, my injury is going to come back. I'm going to be slower. I'm going to be sluggish. I'm not going to achieve the goal I want. So having the cost of inaction, so that's to help you keep away from the keep away goals. Knowing that that is where you will be if you don't do what you're doing, which also reinforces where you will be if you continue to do what you're doing. And then write down your true goal. So this has come up pretty much with everyone I've ever worked on weight loss. We talk about weight loss, we start to move towards the weight loss. The closer they get to it, the more they self-sabotage and move away from it again when we realize that it's nothing to do with the weight. The problem is either confidence, emotional based problem. They're afraid of succeeding. They don't know who they'll be if they're slim. They don't like the way people look at them. They don't like that attention of losing weight and people keep saying it to them. Like it could be anything, but it just means that the goal of magically hitting that number on the scale that's going to fix your life is the wrong goal. So you want to really sit down and think about your true goal. What is it really that you're really aiming for, the outcome that you really want? So is it you want to be a magic number on a scale, or do you want to be healthy? Do you want to be able to move faster? Do you want to be able to run around after your kids, your grandkids? Do you want to be able to do the park run? Do you like, what is it that you actually want that goes beyond just losing some weight? Everyone that's here probably already has sort of thought about that, because we've talked about anxiety and confidence as well. So it's not just weight related, but it's useful to have an idea of your actual goal. So this is back to visualizing, what does life look like when you achieve whatever it is that you want to achieve. So my actual goal is health, longevity, all that sort of stuff, rather than just I want to hit 10.3.4 stone on a scale and then life will be fucking amazing, because that's not what happens. And people get slowly closer and closer to that number and realize that life isn't changing, the weight's changing, but they still feel like shit. They still don't love themselves. They still don't like themselves. They still have no confidence. And because of that, they end up going, well, fuck this. And they just self-sabotage. We don't want to do that. If you enjoyed this training and would like to work with me more and become part of a community of like-minded ladies who are working towards their mental, emotional strength and aiming to live the life that they've dreamed of, losing weight along the way and enjoying it, while celebrating the many wins with everybody within the community, then hit the button below to join the Superhuman Confidence and Weight Loss Accelerator group. Within this group, you'll have live training that will be from a specialist PT, from mobility, from mindset to yoga to Q&As to special guests. There's so much that goes on within this group that there is no way there won't be something for you. So join the group today, and I look forward to working with you in the future.